What up, everybody? Welcome back to Rob Hunter TV. This is my fifth total stream. So I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me today. How was y'all's weekend? Today is Monday. What's today's date? June the 29th. Monday, June the 29th. I am back in the saddle. My weekend was what? How should I describe it? Uneventful Saturday. Pretty cool yesterday. And Friday, I don't even remember what I did Friday. I'm at that age now where if it didn't happen like 10 minutes ago, the chances of me remembering it are slim. But having said that, welcome back. I hope your day is going great. I hope this stream finds you in good spirits. I was watching. I was actually looking at the look. I was looking at something on my phone, and an alert came through, and it said that LeBron James has opted in for his 23rd season. 23 years. I could not believe that number. That number to me is just mind-boggling. 23 years, don't play, clocking in. I believe when LeBron first got in the league, I think they were actually clocking in. I think he actually punched an actual real, like he put a little card in. I don't know if a lot of y'all may not know what that is, but I believe they were punching clocks back then in the NBA. But this will be with LeBron when he finishes in next. So once the season begins, he'll be 40 years. He'll still be 40 years old, but he'll be 41 in December. So when this season ends in 2026, this man will be 41 years old. And it got me to thinking. I was like, if LeBron wins a title this year, if this coming up season he wins a title, and he is Finals MVP, is that enough for him? For those of you who don't believe he's the GOAT, don't think he's the GOAT, don't believe he's the best basketball player you've seen, is that enough for him to be your GOAT? I mean, at 41 years old, at Finals MVP, the oldest Finals MVP was Kareem at 38 years old. So he will have bested that. If you can best, I don't know if you can best anything by being older, but he will have bested that by 3 years. So he'll be 40. He will be 41 years old, the oldest Finals MVP, and he will be the second oldest of the three major sports. Tom Brady was Super Bowl MVP at 43 years old. Willie Stargell, I believe, was 39, if I'm not mistaken, 39 years old when he won MVP of the World Series. And LeBron would be 41 years old, fifth championship. So is that enough for you? Would that be enough? Or picture this. LeBron James, or picture this. It's halftime at the Staples Center. And somehow a mountain lion got loose in the arena. Has already killed 3 people, right? And LeBron hears the commotion. He in the back getting ready for the second half. It's a close game. But he hears the commotion and peers out the tunnel and sees this mountain lion going crazy. LeBron jumps into action, humanely subdues the mountain lion. Humanely picks it up by the scruff of its neck, like its mother did when it was a kitten. Picks it up by the scruff of the neck. Animal control comes in a little late, but LeBron's already got the situation in hand. Tosses him the cat tranquilizer. LeBron pokes the cat. Cat goes limp. LeBron tosses the cat to animal control. Goes out. Starts the third quarter. Drops 40. Triple-double. Wins Finals MVP. Would that be enough to make LeBron your GOAT? Saving the Staples Center from the mountain lion. Going out. Winning his 5th title. Finals MVP. If LeBron fought a mountain lion at halftime and won, and beat the mountain lion, and then secured his 5th title, would that be enough for him to be your GOAT? That is the question. You're talking about a guy who has already the only one. Pull up my notes here. The only one, for those that don't know, LeBron is the only player in NBA history to have 40,000 points, 11,000 assists and rebounds. He's the only one to do that. He's the only guy to win Finals MVP for 3 different franchises because no one else has won a championship with 3 different franchises. No one. LeBron. And I find the championships. I find the championships in 3 different states. I think that's probably one of the most impressive things for me, just for me, because I'm not saying LeBron's a GOAT. I'm not having that debate just yet. But I think that when you look at LeBron and I talked about the ring chaser moniker that he is, I think has dubiously been laid upon, and I think it's disingenuous too. I don't think you can't go to lottery teams and be chasing rings. That's no one would advise you to chase rings by going to teams that have been perennially in the lottery for the past 4 or 5 years. The only time that I believe there was a bit of a ring chase was when he went to Miami. But when you go to Cleveland and they missed the playoffs 4 years in a row, and you go to LA and they missed the playoffs 5 years in a row, you don't go to lottery teams to find championships. You don't go to the sorry teams. That's just that's just basic common sense. I'm not saying any earth shattering thing there, but I think one of the most impressive things for me is when you have won championships with 3 entirely different rosters in entirely different states with entirely different coaching staffs. I think that because generally what happens, it's so hard to win, right? It's so hard to win that when a player finds success and he's the main vital cog in that success, or one of the vital cogs in that success, they normally don't leave. They normally just try to run that play. They try to keep that band together. You know, they may add a piece here or there. So you think about like, you know, what the Bulls did, right? Michael wasn't trying to leave Chicago. He got Scotty, and they moved pieces around. They signed Dennis for the second three-peat. Before that, it was Horace Grant, Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, Ron Harper. They moved pieces around, but once you find that core, generally speaking, because winning championships is so hard, you don't leave. You keep the same coach. But LeBron jettisoned Miami when he still could have kept playing with Bosh and D Wade because they both made All-Star games after he left. So it wasn't like they were out of their prime. They still were playing at a very, very high level. So when you leave and you go to a lottery team with a new coach, new players, you don't know if it's going to work. You don't know if it's going to gel. I think that to me is more challenging than finding a core group of guys that you consistently have won with. I mean, the Miami core had gone to 4 straight finals. So if he wanted to just keep winning rings and chasing rings, you just stay there and you just add a piece or 2 to the core and you just keep racking up wins. You keep racking up championships that way. You don't go to Cleveland and you go, oh, they had Kyrie. Kyrie wasn't nobody when before LeBron. He wasn't an all-star. He was an off-injured point guard, and they brought in Kevin Love. Kevin Love had never even been to the playoffs, I don't think. And they were able to figure it out in year 2. Same thing when he went to LA, they had missed the playoffs for 5 years, all of those Kobe years. They missed the playoffs for 5 years in a row. LeBron comes, they add a piece, they add Anthony Davis. I believe year 2, they win. And so for me, with totally different coaching staff, totally different players, and they go out and they do it again. And so for me, I think that that is probably one of the most impressive things I've seen in all of sports, to be able to just to take yourself from a winning formula and then go do it again, to me is just that is you don't see players doing that again. If they find something to win, they find a squad that win, they find a formula, they got a coach, They got an offense they like. They normally stick with that. And so um, that was probably the most impressive thing that I've seen. So when you look at this, I mean, this is a guy who has a triple double against all 30 NBA teams, and nobody else has done that. I mean, Michael Jordan got 28 triple doubles total. Bron's got, I believe, 122. And so, looking at some of the stats where he's the youngest player. When you look at one, go to any stat that you want to have, and if his name keeps popping up, LeBron James, he would have to be in the discussion for GOAT. I think youngest to 1,000 points, youngest to 10,000 points, youngest to 20,000 points, youngest to 30,000 points, and the only man to ever score 40,000 points. I mean, he swept every age milestone. Okay, he's a top 5 in points and assists. He's the only player in any major stat to be in top 5 in two separate categories. He's the only one. And now going into year 23, I don't think I've seen any other. I don't think I've seen any other thing in its prime this long, maybe other than racism. It's racism and LeBron. They trying to outdo, like, who gonna stay and play the longest? Who's performing at the highest level? The longest. Like how long are you going? I mean, racism is looking at LeBron, and LeBron is looking at racism like I'm here. Racism like I'm here before you. you know, and so when you look at or I just haven't seen anything as formidable as as racism as LeBron. I mean, LeBron just opted in his little $53 million contract, and racism, like, I just signed a 15-year extension. I mean, they're going back and forth, and I think that and then you also look at LeBron. I mean, this is his what, 5th administration, 4 presidents. When he got there. When he first landed with when he was drafted in 2003, it was Bush, right? Bush, then Obama, then Trump, then Biden. Now he's back to Trump, and it got me to looking at this thing, and I'm like, all right, in 2003, where were you? Where were you in 2003? What were you even alive then? For some of y'all, were some of y'all even alive then? And so I started looking. I got my notes here, and I started looking at what was going on in 2003, as if I wasn't there. But eggs was $1.24 in 2000. It's the average price. Right now they're $2.50. Gas was $1.59. What a wonderful world. LeBron is older than Facebook. Well, his NBA career is older than Facebook. So when he got drafted, Facebook wasn't even out yet. You couldn't even send me a friend request on Facebook. He was out. He was playing before MySpace. MySpace came and went and died, and LeBron is still here. Streaming didn't even exist. Like, DirecTV had us all in a chokehold. Streaming wasn't even out yet. And Netflix was out, but it was mailing you movies. For y'all, maybe y'all don't remember, but Netflix was not a streaming service. Netflix was you rented movies. So it's funny, I never rented a movie from Netflix. I was at that time, so for those that may not remember, if you wanted to rent a movie, you had one or two. If you wanted to watch a movie, there was no on demand. There was none of that. You had to go to a actual brick and mortar facility, and you went in there, and the only movies that you could see was the movies inside of that building, which was Blockbuster at the time. That was the only thing they had. So if it wasn't there, you wasn't gonna watch it. Now, it take and you know what I don't know if this happens to y'all, but I drown in the choices, right? And it started off like this, like when we first canceled DirecTV, and that was a great day when we canceled DirecTV. DirecTV was is one of the most poor, and I ain't gonna get no sponsorship from DirecTV, so whatever. It had the worst customer service, and the technology was bad. Anyway, so when we first canceled DirecTV, we were like, oh, we gonna get us just one streaming service. That ain't how that shit worked out. We have all of them. So it takes forever for me to figure out what we're gonna watch, and by the time we settle on something, we tired. But we will look at what we'll look at 10 trailers before we decide, and we'll bounce around the 5 or 6 streaming services before we even settle on something. So it's actually become more intense. I don't need all them choices, but I ain't finna cancel none of them. We got Hulu, we got Apple TV, we got Peacock, we have Netflix. Speak of the devil, we have Netflix. Um, we have HBO Max, and we got some more. I can't remember them all, but anyway, yeah. So back then you had to go to the actual brick, which was actually like not the worst thing in the world. Like going to rent movies was not a bad thing, but that's something that you did when LeBron was first got drafted. So and we wasn't even Googling yet. Like Google was out, but it wasn't a thing, right? We were still using Yahoo, Ask Jeeves. I don't know if y'all remember that. Um, yeah, we were still looking at porn on desktops at that time. Like in 2003, this right here, LeBron predates the smartphone. We were still hanging up on people. LeBron outlasted the Razor. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember the Razor? Um, the Razor phone for those that don't remember, the Razor was a very thin phone that used to flip. But LeBron was pre-smartphone. That's crazy. Pre-smartphone. So, and what a joy it was when I found out that you could enjoy your own selection of pornography on the cell phone. But I guess that's a story for another day. Sidekicks were out back then, and that they had just dropped when LeBron got drafted. I don't know if y'all remember that. Um, and it was a simpler time then in 2003. This was pre freak off Diddy. This is pre he was Puffy. It was pre prostitute, pre male prostitute ordering Puff. He was still bad boy, and I don't know if Take That was out yet, but it was pre freak off. This was a simple time when Diddy was just making music and no prostitutes. You probably had the 1 2 girls maybe, but this was pre baby oil. Okay, this was pre. Oh, well, I can't really say that, but it was pre male prostitute. He was still Puffy. He was not Diddy yet, and the freak offs would come way down the line. And it was just a simpler. R. Kelly was out. Now he was fighting cases, but we didn't care because Ignition slapped so hard. Cosby was still a thing. This was pre-racism Trump. Trump was still hiding his racism pretty good back then. We were watching Apprentice, and we were we thought Trump was Trump. Being a fan of Donald Trump wasn't a bad thing back then. He concealed his racism real good, and he was only 2 bankruptcies in. This is pre his 5th bankruptcy. He had only filed bankruptcy twice. This was a very simple time. This was a time where people still, went outside. It wasn't, people didn't get lost in social media. LeBron was out in the NBA, dribbling the basketball, dunking on people before social media. He was before TikTok, before Instagram. I'm telling you, this was a simple time. I mean, Destiny's Child was still a group. Okay, this is before, Beyonce became B. And this was a time when um, the NFL had zero black owners back then, zero majority black owners back then. Well, it's still the same now, so I guess that didn't really change too much. But this was a this was a simpler time, and so when we just reflecting on LeBron and how long he's been hooping and how good he's been at it, um, is just it just made me think like even now, like when I walked by the TV the other day, my son is looking at Spider-Man, and LeBron has he lasted through Tobey Maguire, uh, Garfield, and Tom Holland, and now he in the metaverse. LeBron done made it all the way to the metaverse. LeBron has made it through three Spider-Mans, and LeBron been playing so long, it's a black Spider-Man now. it it's a black Spider-Man now. Man, and LeBron been playing so long. When LeBron first got Kanye West's jaw was still wired shut, and he still had all his sound mind. This was pre I Love Hitler, Kanye West. That's how long LeBron has been in the league. And so I wanted to just think about that time, what it was like for um, LeBron James to be in the league. What Let me pull this up. There we go. Year 23 is upon us. Free agency has just started, and it started at 6 o'clock. So it's 6:21 now. So free agency we're about 20 minutes in. I don't know if any news has broken yet. Let me look at my phone. No, not just yet. But if this is year 23, and I guess the question is, for me, to you guys, and you guys can leave the comments after this post. What would LeBron have to do in order, if he's not your GOAT now, what would he need to do? Would winning his fifth ring uh, at 41 years old and being the Finals MVP, would that do it for you? Or are there too many losses in the finals? Is that are we are you is that something that do you hold 6-0 in that high of a regard? Which is fair. If that's your metric, that's your metric. But it just got me to thinking, man. I mean, at 41 years old, regardless of what you think, I think that just appreciating this level of greatness, this level of excellence, the same way that we did Tom Brady, watching somebody perform and keep their body in tip-top shape the way that he has, is just it's a you don't see these type of athletes or this type of excellence for this high for this long. So hopefully LeBron outlasts racism. I hope so. I hope that racism ends before LeBron. I don't my hopes are not high. I mean, now racism seems like it came all the way back around. I mean, to even stronger, right? I mean, now they just out against diversity. They're against diversity. They're against equity, and they're also against inclusion. So I would say that I have a healthy pessimism that LeBron can outlast racism. But hey, a guy can root, can he? Anyway, this was my fifth stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Tell a friend, subscribe, like, comment. This is the best stream in the world. And that's how you need to present it. So when you're talking to somebody, tell them, say, hey, I'm about to bless you. This is the best stream in the world. And when they come here, if they find that it's not, that's on me. But when you're sharing this stream with somebody, when you're telling somebody about it, how you position it, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the sales script. This is the best stream in the world. His name is Rob Hunter. It's called Rob Hunter TV. Like, subscribe, and share. I will be back tomorrow with another stream. See how this unfolds. But I wanted to talk about LeBron opting in his 23rd year, what that meant, how many Spider-Mans he's gone through. LeBron has played with three different against three different father-son. He played against Gary Payton Jr., Gary Payton, uh, Kenyon Martin and his son, and Jabari Smith Sr. and Jabari Smith Jr. LeBron has played against both of them. Shout out to Jabari Smith, one of Atlanta's finest, just signed an extension for $122 million. But anyway, thank you guys for stopping in. I appreciate you. And tell a friend. This is Rob Hunter TV. Peace.